How does a woman get pregnant by a dead man? Give me a couple minutes and I'll tell you how. The first 5 years of marriage for Bruce and Gabriella Vernoff would be described by Gabriella as great. She met the love of her life. They were happily married, and they had plans in the future of having children. But that would all be torn apart when on July 3rd, 1995, not even 2 weeks after his 35th birthday, Bruce Vernoff died of what's described as either an accidental overdose of a prescription medication or an allergic reaction to that said prescription medication. So he dies July 3rd, 1995. And most stories, unfortunately, end with that death, but the story only begins with that. So Gabriella is overtaken with grief and emotion, just like anybody that would be in that situation would feel. That gut punch of somebody that you were married to, that you were going to spend the rest of your life with, and suddenly they're dead. Gabriella gets a hold of a male infertility specialist named Dr. Cappy Rothman, and she says, I want my husband's sperm retrieved so that I could use it in the future when I want to be artificially inseminated. And so Dr. Cappy Rothman, who is an expert in retrieving sperm from dead people, him and his team, they go to the coroner's office in Los Angeles, and they do exactly as she wants. They retrieve the sperm from Bruce. So they retrieve it, and it is a complete success. Now, she would later have the sperm frozen, and then she would use it in 1998 to be artificially inseminated. She would get pregnant, and then she would have a baby and give birth in the early part of 1999. So that was the first successful artificially inseminated woman with the sperm of a dead man that actually gave birth to a child. Now, Dr. Rothman, he is no stranger to this unusual case. I would say it's pretty unusual. I have actually never heard of such a thing. He actually first did this in 1980 when one Robin Cranston died in an automobile accident. His father, Alan Cranston, if you're from California, you would know that name because he used to be a senator here in California. So the father requested that the son's sperm be taken and frozen for later use, but it was never used. Now, Dr. Rothman has probably done about 180 of these, retrieving sperm from dead men. And he says that most of the time it's never used to inseminate the woman. It's just taken as a precautionary measure in case they do want to have a child later on. Now, when a man dies, according to, I guess, whatever records are kept in this matter, generally the rule of thumb is that you have about 12 to 30 hours to retrieve the sperm before it's no good. But there is a case where sperm was retrieved up to 36 hours after death, and it was successfully taken, and it was frozen to be used for a later date and time. Now, here's another interesting aspect of this case. So Gabriella, with her daughter, at the time, I believe she was 10, they had requested from the Social Security Administration survivor death benefits, right? Kind of weird, okay? And they were denied by the Social Security admin, and they took their case to the U.S. District Court. They denied them. They took the case to the U.S. Courts of Appeal, 9th District, and they denied them as well. Basically, the reason why they didn't get the benefits is because, well, according to the admin, they didn't meet the eligibility requirements because, well, she could not establish the girl, the daughter, she couldn't establish that she was dependent upon the deceased at the time of his death because she wasn't born yet. And also, without just pretending that I'm some intelligent guy so you guys can say like, oh, you're so smart, Lamont. No, not at all. Just to get out of legalese, basically they're also saying that, well, he didn't consent to have a child because he was dead. And also, when you're married, the marriage between a man and a woman ends upon the death of either husband or wife. So you factor in those two things together, and yeah, no, the court said you're not entitled to death benefits. Now, of course, you have those holier than thou people who say that the ethical question of life and those who mean to give life brings up the case that, hey, we're birthing children that don't have fathers, and also the deceased, they're not alive to give their consent on whether they would want their sperm removed to have a child that they're saying that they don't have any say in the matter. Now, in this matter with Gabriella, she did point to a video where, I guess it was just like a family video of them talking about life and family or whatever. And in the video, he reportedly did say that he did intend on having children with Gabriella. So that kind of pointed to the proof that in this case, at least anyways, that he did in fact want a child. This is the final resting place of Bruce Vernoff, June 24th, 1960 to July 3rd, 1995. Beloved son, husband, father, family, and friends, his credo: the greatest pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do, and he's climbing the stairway to heaven. Just a quick and interesting story about a man who fathered a child after death, and that woman loved him very much, and she wanted a baby, and ultimately, even though in death, that didn't stop things from happening, and he was still able to give her that child that she so desperately wanted. All right, guys, out of here. Catch up with you on the next vlog. Peace out.